Welcome to Paris, A State of Mind. Join us as we talk about the good, the bad, the ins, the outs of property rentals and purchases in and around Paris. We'll have topics for renters, owners, and visitors, share questions we are regularly asked, and more. My name is Gail Boisclair of Perfectly Paris, and my co-host is Marie Pistinier of Lokim Paris. Be a part of it. Both of us are proud members of the SPLM, the first representative body of furnished rental professionals. Hello, Marie. How are you today?
Hi, Gail. I'm very fine. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm good. I had a crazy day already, and it's early in the morning with a water leak. And I live on the 6th floor, and the water was apparently leaking all the way down to the 1st floor. But I didn't see it because it was hidden in a cupboard. Anyway, all's well that ends well. It was fixed, and as usual, it was just a joint.
Yeah, joint. This joint that is making sometimes our life miserable. Just a little tiny little joint.
Always, I know. I hope your morning started out leakless.
Yes, pretty good actually. So what about the episode today?
Well, today it's actually the last season, the last episode of this first season, Paris Underground Radio. So I thought it would be really fun if we asked some of our co-hosts and some of our listeners a few questions, and that we could answer. And so that's what we'll do. Today we've got 3 questions that we'll answer from people. And that's what I thought would be a good idea.
That sounds perfect to me. Time flies already, and so it's always going very fast when we have fun. So tell me what is the first question we have.
Well, so the first one is from Jennifer Gertie. She is the host of Storytime in Paris and co-writer as well as voice actor for Babes in the Woods. Both air on Wednesdays on Paris Underground Radio. As well, she also hosts Don't Miss This on Sundays. And finally, she is the producer extraordinaire and creator of Paris Underground Radio. So Jennifer had a question. She said, I know you talked about not having to repaint or fix minor holes in walls after 7 years, but what if, totally hypothetically, someone had, say, a dog, and that dog hypothetically stained and or ripped a hole in a sofa bed that had been in an apartment for over 7 years? Remember, hypothetically, and wasn't new at the start. Would the renter need to replace the allegedly, hypothetically ruined sofa bed?
So it's very hypothetical, but of course. But so yes, we talked already in one of our episodes about the depreciation of the thing, which could be like the paint, the joint, which is very short, and but also the furnishing the furniture that are going with the apartment. So and we said also that what we call the grille de vétusté, which is a kind of depreciation charts where we have how many years we are supposed to redo the paint and things like that. We know that this grill is not like an official one, but it's like what is commonly used by agents and also some large social lessor. So right now, I would say that for over 7 years stay, we could have a depreciation of for a sofa bed, it could be from 5 to 8 years. So basically, if it's over 7 years, there is no need to replace the sofa bed. And if the owners, because the question is that at the end, when she's going to do her checkout, is the owner saying, okay, you need to replace that, or I will buy that and I will just withdraw that from your damage deposit, then you do have to bring up the depreciation topic in order to make sure that he's not going to do so. Then there is, as a depreciation grill chart is like it's not an official one. A part of the discussion would be like from 1 to 1 that you have to deal with. Even though if really you would go like to court because the guy wants absolutely to withdraw the sofa bed, you will win, of course. But nothing written in stone.
Yeah, because I mean, it's true. Any one of us, if we have like a sofa for 7 years, it is going to get stained. It's gonna, I have two cats, and fortunately, I don't live in a furnished apartment. It's my furniture. Otherwise, I'd be in trouble, probably about a few little cat scratches. Say that 5 times fast. Cat scratches, cat scratches, cat scratches, cat scratches. Oh, blah, blah, blah.
And this is go with the contest for the recoverable charges.
Recuperable.
Charge récupérable.
Oh, but there was one more, and I can't remember what the other thing I couldn't say in English. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I think that's reasonable. That 5 to 8 years, a sofa should be replaced. So, in theory, Jennifer should be okay then.
Yeah,
But yeah, one
probably.
on one with her owner, as you say.
Yeah. What about the next question?
Our next question comes from Lily Heise. She is the host of Romancing in Paris, which airs Wednesdays on Paris Underground Radio, and Paris Cache, which airs every second Sunday on Paris Underground Radio. So she says, I'm still a little confused about water charges, even though I listened to the charges episode. A water counter was added to my building many years after I moved in. Will my landlord give me a big bill for water when I leave?
So very good question. So to put it back in the context, we said that more and more often we have in the buildings some personal meters that are added to the apartment in order to make sure that each and everyone pay the right amount according to the consumption of water in the building. So this should be stated. There is two things to see. First, the owner cannot go back up to more than 3 years backward. That means that at a certain point, he cannot put a big bill after like many years and say, okay, you've been taking too much bath and you need to pay some extra charges. And then the important thing is that what is written in the bill, because obviously she does pay already for the water consumptions in the lease, because
In
we
the
do have
charges.
in the charges. But then the question is that first, does she have like a yearly change of like regulation of the charges? Which may mean that she already have the bill is already adapted to her consumptions. For example, if the owner changes it every year and says, okay, now the charges are this amount, that means that it's already done. So that means that there is nothing to recuperate afterward. They have nothing to get back after. And if it's not, if there is no, for example, the owner missed this thing, then he cannot go back more than 3 years. So that means
Yeah.
that you already pay, and then eventually there is something. But you may consider that in some way the landlord may owe you some money.
Yeah, because if I remember when we talked about charges, it was the question of whether or not people had a provisional amount that they had to pay that was regulated at the end of each year, in which case the owner could go back and either give back money to the renter, or the renter gives money to the owner, or if it's forfait, so a fixed amount every single month. And if that's the case, then too bad, so sad. The owner cannot go back to the
Yeah.
renter.
And this, the forfait, and we know that forfait is not forfeit, because this was a topic that it's not an English word. That is, like we said, like
Yeah.
a flat fee, a
Yeah.
flat amount. But this could be only for a year. Like, even though it's a forfait and your lease is renewable, you are entitled to get a provision way to calculate your building charges after a year, if you ask for it. But maybe we should do some additional maybe little sessions on this topic next year.
Well, I think what people really want, they need charts.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to do an episode with charts, and we'll show charts.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Well, and we had a question from one of our listeners, a friend of mine, actually, Robin Davis, and she's been living in just a little background about Robin since we gave an introduction for everyone else. She's been living in Paris for a while and she's currently renting an apartment in the ninth. And the owner actually told her that he's going to be selling. So she's going to have to move out. I think her lease is up in June or something like that. So her question is very relevant. She wants to know whether we will cover the steps to buying an apartment in a future podcast. She says, I'm so confused on how to even get started. Everything I see online tends to focus on how to buy a home in the countryside. And Robin is in Paris and she wants to stay a city girl.
Okay, so yeah, sure. It's true that we have covered some purchase steps already, and we have also one episode with an apartment hunter, Yolanda Robbins, which was very interesting, and that could be one of the steps when you want to have someone to do the heavy lifting, I would say. But you can do that on your own, and this is a very good idea to go a little deeper into the topic of buying a property in Paris and to see that there is many steps, and sometimes it's confusing because you have to go, like, it's a kind of net. You have to go several directions in order to after narrow your search. And then in the full process, you may have to go back and forth to the notaire, to the agency, to, if you have an agent, to the owner, if you go directly from owners to owners. And so there is little things, but of course there is many tips and tricks that can help you save some time. So we'll be happy to share that.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to do an episode that just concentrates on the steps that Robin or someone else would need to take. We'll be right back with Paris, A State of Mind, after a word from our sponsors. And now back to Paris, A State of Mind. Well, those are all the questions that I had directly that I thought we should cover. But it's as it is the last episode of the season, I think that we should say how much, I've really had so much fun doing all these Paris A State of Mind episodes with you, Marie. It's been really great, no?
Yes, it's amazing. And that's, often saying that because, of course, I listen again to our, not all over and over, but just, sorry, at least once in order to see what I said and to listen what we said and to eventually see, did I say any mistakes or should I go back on some stuff? But I'm actually having fun listening to us. So it's a bit like, it's a kind of selfish things or don't think I have an ego big like that. But it's, yes, it's very fun. We know each other since a long time. And, but we never done such a thing. So it's a great, I'm having fun, like, during recording the episode and also preparing them and talking about them and all the environments such as the Paris Underground Radio, Jennifer and all the co-hosts. It's really a great moment, great things to share all together.
Yeah, I agree. We're really fortunate to have other podcast hosts that are just really fantastic. And of course, a huge thank you to Jennifer for creating Paris Underground Radio and her whole network of people that she's managed to get to provide all these super podcasts. No?
Yeah, yes, she's amazing. She's very dynamic, and she gives the dynamic to this Paris Underground Radio network. So we really count on all the listeners to really read, listen, share, talk about us, and if they don't talk about us. But if you like us, if you like the different hosts, and there is many different, season 2 is going to be great because we know that all the hosts are preparing some nice topics and surprises. So yes. Listen, share, talk to your friends, to your neighbor, to your I don't know, to the bakers, to anyone around you, and share about Paris Underground Radio.
Well, And yeah, maybe we should even give people an idea of some of the episodes that we have coming up in season 2, because we're excited about some of those as well too, aren't we?
Yes, and it's because actually we already have some things planned ahead, and we wanted to go a little more into the maintenance and the cleaning, for example.
With a special guest. We can't say who though.
No, but it's very important. We are going to talk a little more into for vacation rentals because we had this topic, but there is many things to go. We are going to go a little deeper into the topic from the welcoming the guests to what you do while they are here and what do you do after they leave in order to get more bookings and everything. Of course, the purchase, as Robin was asking. Apartment renovation, which is a topic that several people asked us about, but also things about like such as fractional ownership and many things.
A fractional ownership. We have a special guest for that too. Shh,
Yes.
don't tell them. Don't say who. They'll find out.
One of the things would be we are going to have a little more some additional guests for the season 2. And we are also open to suggestions and questions. So if there is any topic, specific thing that you'd like to talk about the real estate for Paris, but also, as you may have heard, most of the topics are really open and that you can apply that for all of our friends. So feel free to share that and to drop us a note.
Yeah, if they go to parisundergroundradio.com, they'll see a link where they can email questions, or otherwise, if they happen to be on social media, they can contact us directly with questions, and we can note that as well too.
Yeah, sure. Pleasure will be ours.
Very good. Well, I think that we've covered most of the things that we had in this episode. It was a short but sweet, because if we carried on this episode too long since our last one from season 2, I might start crying. And then we don't want me recorded crying because I'll be sad that season 1 is over. Although I am happy that season 2 is coming.
Yes, me too. So take care, Gail. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. You too. Oh, wait, and Marie, shouldn't we wish people a very happy holiday, a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and all of the above, and wonderful wishes for the new year?
Yes, exactly. And we hope you are going to party a lot, stay safe, and have fun. And we'll talk in 2022, I guess.
Absolutely. Looking forward to having all of you tune in to us again. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to Paris, A State of Mind, featuring Gail of Perfectly Paris and Marie of Loquim, both who are founding members of the SPLM. Paris, A State of Mind is produced by Paris Underground Radio. The music, Jazz in Paris, is by Media Right Productions. For more information on this show and others, go to parisundergroundradio.com.